Pretty much all of the big name free agents in Major League Baseball are off the market now, except Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso plays first base. Mariners could look to be improved at first base as right now. Well, as of right now, the Mariners don't actually have a first base. Maybe Ryan Bliss, maybe, but he didn't look great in his cup of coffee. But with the way the Mariners have been doing things, I don't really see that happening. Most of the Mariners did avoid arbitration, and it looks like we saved about 400,000, about half a million off of the projections, maybe a little bit more, which is good because that adds to the $15 million we had to spend this offseason. But there are a few players who haven't gone to ARB yet, which isn't great, or who haven't agreed and will be going to arbitration, which isn't great, but it's whatever. Ryan Bliss is not an everyday first baseman. Justin Turner is 40. He's also not signed and is considering potentially retiring or going back to the Mariners. I would be fine with that, or bringing him in as like a clubhouse guy, like a coaching guy or something like that. Because we've got Dan Wilson and Edgar Martinez, 90s Mariners who were really good. Four of the five playoff appearances involved them. The 90s Mariners. And Ichiro only made the playoffs with the Mariners once in 2001. That's just depressing. It's just honestly depressing. And then when we move to second base, we've got Dylan Moore. Jorge Polanco's not with us anymore. We paid the termination fee, the $750,000, which honestly, with the season he had, I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that because it allows a lot of different things to happen. Um, with us to potentially move people around. Dylan Moore at second base isn't a bad option. Uh, every once in a while, I'd like him to be able to move second base, third base. Shortstop, we have a problem. J.P. Crawford is a flat earther, and he can't hit. Uh, those two things may, in fact, be related because you need to know the shape of the earth in order to hit a baseball. Now, why? Because hitting a baseball is involved with physics. The shape of the earth is this oblong spheroid because of physics. So, like, yes, J.P. Crawford, please figure out the shape of the earth and then figure out how to hit a baseball. All right, then moving to third base, we really Dylan Moore again. Leo Rivas, maybe he was a shortstop. Yeah. So like none of those guys are really proven. So meh, not really great. A lot of like young bats, which I'm okay with bringing up the young bats. But I'd love to have this rotation have a lot more support because the five of them, even the six of them with Hancock, are really good. Yeah, there's a major drop off from Brian Wu to Emerson Hancock, but this is the best rotation in baseball. Even with Hancock, it's still the best rotation in baseball. And you would love to be able to just put up 3, 4, 5 runs a day. So our ERA was like 3.6. So put up 4 or 5 runs a day, and you're going to win more often than you lose. Yeah, okay, fine. Sometimes you're going to have those bad starts. Every pitcher has a bad start. Nobody throws 36 perfect games. Nobody throws 36 complete game shutouts anymore. Nobody throws 36 complete games anymore. But yeah, that's the way it is. Moving on from that, sure, hell, should have been Silver Slugger. I think he might have been. I'm not 100% sure. Gold and Platinum Glove. Amazing defensive contributions. Over 30 home runs. Yes, the strikeouts are bad, but the home runs are there. The slugging is there. The defensive run saves are there. That is something where we need to just figure out a guy who can back him up a couple days, maybe on a Wednesday and a Sunday who can hit the baseball. Mitch Garver's that guy right now. $12 million for a backup catcher is a little expensive for any team, not just the Mariners, but okay. That does mean Mitch Garver's not the designated hitter, which means that does mean we could potentially go back to what we used to be doing, where we would have guys, DH one day a week for extra like half day off, so that way they could have their day off and then their half day off, so it would work out a little bit better with rest. So that would be cool. I'm cool with that. The outfield right now is Victor Robles, Randy Arozarena, Julio in center, and Mitch Haniger as the backup outfielder. I don't hate that. I really don't hate that. But I'd love to have another depth outfield piece somewhere. Luke Rayleigh can play in the outfield, but he might end up being the first base. You don't really want your first baseman playing center field because then you have somebody else playing first base. It's a mess. So there's going to need to be a lot of stuff happening. We're going to have to see a lot of really good stuff in spring training. Now the problem with our spring training is it's in Arizona, and then we go to Seattle where it's a lot cooler in April. But we'll see what happens. I have recently purchased 3 tickets to go to Mariners games. Now I'm a New Yorker, so I decided that I would just go see the Yankees home games against the Mariners. I wanted to go to the Little League Classic, but I can't make that happen. But in July, I'll be in New York City for 3 days to watch the Mariners. Taking the train down there, gonna go watch the Mariners, and I just hope that by the time I go there, we aren't anywhere close to 1,000 strikeouts like last year. Remember, last year we had almost 1,100 strikeouts at the All Star break. At one point, we were on pace to strike out 2,000 times. And unfortunately, with what I just talked about, I think we're going to strike out 3,000 times, which is a lot.